actually, though, being proud and liking a lot of the performance make you more disappointed because you've done the hard part?
Because the way they tried, and yesterday we couldn't even train. There were players that they were absolutely dead, and they performed like this again for 97 minutes. Wow, and they don't look and for any excuses or look on the bench and say, okay, what do we do? They just go about it and they try to be their best version. They certainly were. I think it's the best game that we play against Villa. That since I've been here, they're a top side and we did a lot of good things.
Yeah, and obviously it doesn't feel good now, but do you feel like maybe in the last couple of weeks, certainly today, you've found something extra in attack with your chance creation, maybe with the wingers going outside, balls into the box, Kai and the opposite winger getting into the box?
In attack, in defending, I think the level that we are playing is so high because we play some big teams and we were so good. But there's something missing and that line is so thin and we have to find it. And today, the way we concede the goals, it cannot be part of our game if you want to be up there.
Is something missing? So do you know what that is, or is it you're searching?
Today was clear. Today we cannot consider 2 goals the way we done. After doing everything that you've done with that discipline, with that commitment, with that resilience, with that quality, that line is so thin against them especially, and we have been punished before with that, and you cannot do it.
It's also so unlike your team, isn't it? 2 goals from balls into the box, usually 1-2-0 up. You lock a game down.
Really to them as well. I mean, Digne puts an unbelievable cross. Tielemans arrives in the right moment. You need to hit the target. He does. And then Matricas on the second phase of set piece, he plays with the left side, almost outside the box, a ball to the only place that can arrive, and we lose the man. So you have to be creative to the opposition as well.
Do you think we did see as well today that, you spoke about it before the game, the ripple effect of not having William Saliba, and of course it isn't just Saliba, it's White, it's Tomiyasu.
Doesn't matter. We played with Youri and he was exceptional. Thomas was exceptional. Miles again exceptional. He never played fullback before. Declan is asked to play as a 6. Kai does it again. Leo on the left. Martinelli. What can I say?
Have you seen back what looked like the winner at the end? I had to look it back a few times, but it looks like it comes off the arm.
One angle doesn't look, from the other angle it looks. The decision is made. It's difficult because you have so much emotion and you celebrate it. It's taken away from you and it's not easy.
How big a setback does this feel like, Mikel? I mean, because it's Villa again, because it looked at one point today like Liverpool were going to drop points and now it's you that's dropped points. I mean, you'll keep fighting a course, but does that gap look too big now?
I don't know. I think what it looks is the way the team performs. And we continue to do that. We're going to win a lot of games. Those margins are going to be so thin. They are very thin for a lot of teams.
Thank you.
Clearly, he's really proud of the efforts that his team have shown and the way they managed to get 2 goals in front. But he kept repeating it, didn't he? The fine lines that they're just missing at the moment and the way they conceded those 2 goals. We talked about the goal that got Aston Villa back into it, but the goal that was the equaliser. What did you spot here, Paul?
Oh, it's Partey. It's Partey. It gets cleared out. Now, Partey looks... Partey gets set, he drops back in, he's got his man. Then he just leaves him. I mean, he has played for one of the most disciplined defensive teams in Europe, in Atletico Madrid. He's an holding midfield player, defensive midfield player. He should see danger. He's played that. He gets back in here. Now that's his man. You cannot do that. That can't win you league titles. That cannot win you league titles. It's just phenomenal what he's done. I can understand if it's a young kid who's just got in the team or something, but this man has played for Atletico Madrid, one of the most disciplined teams in the whole of Europe. That's his game. Discipline, and he's just gone and done that, and that's what he's talking about.
That's worse than the Maatsen.
Oh
one.
Yeah, much worse.
Just because of what Mercer said, Maatsen's a younger player, but that is schoolboy stuff.
But it's really kind of defence because they're missing Saliba. Then Timber has to come across. Then Partey has to play it right back. I know he's done it before, but maybe it's not his natural instinct.
No, but that's his man. He's just got to pick his man up. That is your man. You're playing in a league. You're in a league title race. When you're in the box, you go and defend and you say, that's my man. My man does not score. If someone else goes and scores, that's not it's a problem because it's our team, but it's not my problem because he's my man. And you take responsibility, but he just leaves him. It's like, I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to read it like it's going to get cleared and then he's going to break out. Away. And he's trying to be one step ahead. No, be one step behind, you're 2-1 up. Stop it. And and that's what Mikel Arteta's talking about. Honestly, you won't see a worse defensive goal than that all weekend.
And that's one of the best defences in the league. I know that it's been disrupted today, but as Mer said, he's a defensive-minded midfielder. He does play in that role where he has to defend at times. He is a centre-half, so he should know. And that for me, I think that's pretty lazy, not getting back into a role where you know that there's going to be a centre-forward. That's why it looks pretty easy and routine for Ollie Watkins to stick that home and get the equaliser.
For all that, did we actually see an offensive improvement from Arsenal today?
Yeah, I think they make chances. I think, when you look back on the Fulham and Brighton games, never really looked like scoring. They will miss chances. They haven't got a natural goal scorer. But they keep on making chances. And that's the thing. They keep on making chances. You've got to hit targets. I know you've got to hit the target there. But, yeah, they're making chances. I like with the wingers, they both played on opposite sides. So, they went on the outside when, defenders are so used to players coming in. But, yeah, that's good defending. But if you've got a natural centre forward there who just wants to score goals, they're in there. They just read that. Again, hit the target. The least you can ask for is hitting the target. It's just mind-blowing. Even there with Sterling could get his foot in, but Luca Dean gets in there again. Luca Dean done well when he come on. Yeah, they're making chances. That's my only
This was a delightful ball. He might have been offside here anyway, Trossard.
But you've got to score.
I thought he was magnificent, Trossard. I think he was a standout player for Arsenal.
Do you think that was a feature of the game that Patrick mentioned it in the interview there, actually, the fact that the wingers, with Martinelli on the right-hand side, are going wide. They're not cutting back inside. They're getting the ball into the box.
Yeah, I do. I feel that way. But you need someone in areas that are going to go and exploit that space, go into that space where they're going to have chances. We've just seen that one way. Mercer, if you've got an out-and-out centre-forward that makes that run forward, one of the midfielders comes in, like the Villa goal where Ollie Watkins goes forward and the attacking midfielder comes in. I just think Arsenal are really screaming out for an out-and-out centre-forward that's going to play between the lines of the 18-yard box, not go out wide. Kai Havertz ended up playing out wide left at times. You want someone that's just going to play between the goals, because I feel with what they've got wide players, they'll score goals.
Well, whether it's a striker or something else, maybe multiple other players, are we just seeing that Arsenal's squad isn't equipped to stand the rigours of multiple challenges this season?
No, I don't agree with that, if I'm being honest, because they're schoolboy errors. It's not like teams are opening them up and you're going, oh, my God. They could be stopped today. I don't care what division you're in. Them 2 goals could be stopped. If you do your job, and all you're asking as a manager is for them players to go out on that pitch and do their job. Whether it be a centre forward, he's got to score a goal, or if it's the wingers, they've got to get their crosses in. That's what you'll be told as the manager will say. The 2 wingers get your cross in, forward need a goal, midfield players keep it tight and defend. Follow your runners and defend. And today, certain players let Arteta down. And I don't think that's because the squad's shallow, because today we've just seen 2 big mistakes. Mourinho lets Tielemans run off him. And honestly, I cannot believe what I've just watched with Partey. I can't believe it.
Let's show you another graphic which gives us maybe an indicator of where this is going wrong for Arsenal this season. Record against top and bottom half teams. Let me just show you the right-hand column first of all. 10 wins out of 11 against the bottom half. And maybe 2 wins out of 11 against top half teams tells the story, Paul.
You know what? That's really strange for me. Because with Arsenal, you'd sit there and think, right, bottom half teams will come to the Emirates or even away from home, sit 10 behind the ball, make it really difficult. The top half teams might come to the Emirates or even at home have a go at Arsenal. And that's when Arsenal, you think, will find gaps and with their play, will open teams up. I'm flabbergasted with that because, teams, the top half teams will have a go at Arsenal and there's room. The bottom half teams, I'm flabbergasted with that. I really am. I just think Arsenal. I'm really worried about the mentality. If I'm being honest.
But remember how they finished last season?
Yeah.
When that extraordinary run of results, was it 16 wins from the last 18 games? They've got, 17 left now, 16 left now. So this, in theory, they could still go on another extraordinary run. Do they have that within their capability, do you think? Especially if they were add to another forward player.
I think they need to add another forward player. I think that's key for me with Arsenal. I really do. Not having Saka is a massive blow. I know that he'll come back at March sort of time. He might be back available, but losing him for me, is such a key player to lose. You're not getting the best out of Odegaard because they're on the same wavelength. You need someone who's going to be sticking the ball. They are creating chances, that's the thing. It's not like they're not creating chances, but, you know, today, if they go and get that third goal and maybe a fourth goal, which we've seen Arsenal do time and time again, that's where they blow teams away. They're not blowing teams away, and they're conceding poor goals today.
But doesn't it also always feel like a crisis when Arsenal drop points?
You play for Arsenal Football Club. They're a Rolls-Royce of a football club. You play for, you know, United are 15th, 16th place. They lose a game and everybody goes, oh, my God, Man United have lost. But they've lost because they're not very good. But still a crisis because it's Man United. And it's the same with Arsenal. These are top teams. You go and play for them teams. You've got to follow runners. You've got to defend. You've got to put yourself on the line. And that's why they play for big clubs. But I watch now when I started, you know, I backed Arsenal the last 2 years and thought, you know what, they've been unlucky. They've pushed one of the best teams we've ever seen all the way to the penultimate game and to the last game. Now I'm watching them, I think, have they got it? Have they got it? When push comes to shove, like today, you know...
Clearly you think not.
I do. I start to worry now. I do start to worry. I watch it. I mean, the Tottenham game looks after itself. Tottenham, you know, at the moment are struggling. Their players, you know, ain't got all their players fit. But when you know, I was fortunate enough to win two league titles. You've got to have something. You've got to have something about you that you've got to go, he ain't scoring. You know, I'm defending. And the 2 goals, Mourinho and Partey, are, you know, you want to stop the game with the Partey one and get the ref to give him a mic and go up to him and go, right, what was you thinking? No, you do, because I want to know what he was thinking. I just don't know. You know, I dread to think what Jamie's going to do on Monday night. Because he will look at that and...
he'd be rubbing
Jamie would have never done that. He must have played, 600-700 games, Jamie Carragher, or even more. He would have never done that in his life. Never, ever. He would have gone, that's my man, I'm standing with him. He wouldn't have just gone like that and walked off.
I think what's frustrating with Arsenal is, I think last season, you know, they come so close. They scored, was it 90-odd goals that they scored? You know, same goal difference as Man City. Like, so close, and they have been. But have they pushed on to go and get even closer to winning the title? That's where I think that they've fell short. I think they've needed to have a striker come through the doors. City did it with Haaland when they bought Haaland in. You know, go and get a Gyökeres or go and get someone who they could have had. Well, there was links with Isak at the early stages of the season. Go and get someone that's going to go and play through the middle. You've got so much quality in wide areas. And that's where I feel there's a piece missing in that. And now I'm starting to think, are Arsenal going to... I wanted them to go and really push Liverpool. I just don't know if I see it's quite there. With Merce, there's not quite that fit there at the moment.
It's been a brilliant day, hasn't it, for Liverpool Football Club? That is for sure. 0-0 going to stoppage time at Brentford. They won that 2-0, and then they've watched as their closest rivals, Arsenal, have dropped points against Aston Villa. Aston Villa proving to be there.
Incredibly disappointed, flat Arsenal changing room you've just come out of. Give us a flavour as to what's been said.
Yeah, I mean, it's a disappointing day. Of course, we wanted to win the game, but we have to keep going, keep trying. We trust in ourselves, and yeah, we have to keep going and improving. It's a long journey to go, so we have to focus on ourselves.
Is it doubly disappointing because it looked like you had the game won, well, at least twice, once obviously at 2-0 up, and then again when the goal goes in, disallowed by VAR at the end there?
Yeah, I mean, that's football. That's the Premier League. That's the most difficult league in the world for me. And yeah, we have to rewatch the game and see what we've done wrong and improve for the next games.
Spoken to Kai at all about the disallowed goal? Does seem to come off his arm. I don't know what's been said in there.
No. I haven't spoken to him about this.
He hasn't spoken to him. We can speak about it and clear it up because they thought it was the winning goal at the time.
Yeah, I was delighted seeing it go in. I thought it did go off of his side or something, but when you watch it, it clearly goes in off of his hand. You know, when you watch it from that angle, it looks like he turns and it hits the back of him, but you can clearly see from there when he turns, you know, it's hit his arm. It's a handball. So
fine margins, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, he's trying to move out of the way.
When I'm looking at it again, I think it looks like it hits him on the hip.
I know, but that's what he said. But that hits him on the arm, Tim.
On the arm, yeah.
Honestly, if I could say any way I could say it hit him on the hip, I would say it. But it was unfortunate.
Another
It was
good cross.
a spell of pressure that they put on, and it was really good at that time. It would have been a perfect time to score, for them to regroup and get themselves going again. And unfortunately, it was disallowed.
And are they the moments that make everybody believe? You alluded to the Liverpool ones earlier against Brentford with Núñez.
Well, the thing is with Núñez is that what Liverpool have, what we unfortunately don't have, is somebody, whatever people think about his finishing, how wayward it can be, is somebody that can come off the bench and maybe do something like that. And I think that when you look at Arsenal's bench, there are no attackers really that's going to come on. You get Sterling, who's come on, and it's a bit up and down for him. Brilliant against Man United, his little cameo. Not so good against Spurs, and again, not too much able to do today as well. So you look at Arsenal from an attacking point of view. They've got Villa, got Ollie Watkins to come on, they've got John Durant to come on. That's the kind of riches that, if Arsenal could have that kind of player, those kind of players to come on, then they'll be able to, when they're looking as tired at that stage of the game, and you could feel the energy in the stadium, that they could feel it was coming, and what we need is players who can come in and rid us of those worries, man.
I mean, this is a huge 2 weeks. I know what you're saying. You've been in this position as a manager. It is very difficult to recruit at the best of times in January. Yeah. The sporting director's also not there, who's been doing all the deals for the last, 8-9 windows.
The problem's not the summer transfer window, it was the last 2 or 3 years. You can't all of a sudden identify something you need and you're in because City are out of it, all of a sudden we got a better chance to win the league, so let's just go and bring anyone into the club. It's too late in the day. Hopefully they can find someone. If they can get a loan, someone on a short... Numbers, or something different, like right saying. Núñez comes on, he's havoc. He's 6'4", puts himself about, even if he's not the tightest of players. John Durant gives them that as well, runs in behind, comes short, batters people around.
This week from Dortmund for 20 million, haven't they?
Yeah. It's good signing.
I mean, the players are out there, but they can't be too picky at this stage. But they also, I don't think they should waste money. I really don't. But their season is looking like it's petering out here. The Champions League is the only thing they're out of the competitions. I mean, they've got an outside chance to go to Newcastle, but it's going to be very difficult.
10 Premier League goals so far this season, but we talked about it, we saw it in the highlights, Robbie. It was Thomas Partey that and you mentioned it, that let Ollie Watkins go at the back post. The personnel, in terms of with Saliba being injured and the way he changed it and had to shift everybody around, Partey going back to right back and all the changes that happened, do you think in the end that was the right choice? I know we have hindsight.
It's very difficult. Kivior's not been very good as a central defender. He's let players run in behind him. That could have happened earlier in the game if he'd have gone with Kivior and Timber. I'm pretty sure Timber doesn't let him go at the back post there for that goal. Swings and roundabouts. Looking at the game there and kind of reacting to it, they got a couple of goals, you sort of think they're short up front, but they scored 2 goals. And then you look at the defensive side, and that's where they lost it. Just moments of concentration. Mikel Merino robbed from the first goal.
That's Tielemans' goal.
It's just little details, and maybe other people playing in there would have done different jobs. I don't know, it swings and roundabouts, but when you see Thomas Partey right back, and you see Kivior centre-back on the bench that could have played and Timber could have played right back, it does make you think, would that have been a better choice?
Well, Mikel Arteta still hasn't spoken. If he doesn't speak and we have to go off air, it will be available for you on the NBC Sports YouTube channel. If you are Mikel Arteta, Robbie, you have to try and take the positives. They scored a couple of goals. Give me some others.
Well, they fought back and were lucky, maybe, not they hit the post and had a couple of good opportunities maybe to get all 3 points. They've got to believe in what they do. They've got to stay together. I thought the benches were significant today, not having people on the bench who could give people a rest, just give the team a lift. Raheem Sterling came on, didn't really add anything to the game where, Aston Villa have Bailey, they have...
So he's got to get the chequebook out, hasn't he? We're in the transfer window.
Yeah, if Arsenal are going to win the kind of silverware that they wanted, that the manager says, then they have to fatten their squad up with players, with good players. So you've got 15 or 16 first-team players who can play anytime, any week.
But they did step up. Martinelli stepped up with a goal. Trossard was excellent. 2 assists.
They're 2-0 up. From 2-0 up, that is a problem.
Yeah, so
you're 2-0 up. The game's there.
I know, it's the other side of it, which they're normally so good at. Now, we know that Arsenal are actively looking for a new forward, a striker in this window. They're actively looking, which is good news. It's just frustrating. They've got so many defenders are injured right now where they've normally been so good. But today, it was about not doing the not say the simple things, but the kind of the things that you'd expect from a players at this football club.
Gentlemen, thank you. Just another reminder, Mikel Arteta will be available for you on the NBC Sports YouTube channel.
And that point means they are still in 7th place. They've gone above Manchester City. And they're edging closer to the top 4. The top 5 might well be enough for Champions League football next season, but you see the impact at the top of the table in particular. What a day for Liverpool. 2 stoppage time goals to take them on to 50 points, and Arsenal drop 2 points. They are 6 behind, and Liverpool, the leaders, still have a game in hand. We should also mention Nottingham Forest, who could join Arsenal on 44 points when they take on Southampton tomorrow. Lee Hendry and Paul Merson are here. The big talking point then, which, I think there was a big groan from Arsenal fans perhaps when they saw this in the stadium. It seemed clear, but what's your take on it, Paul?
Well, it's handball. Well, it's just plain out that the rules are, if it hits your hand. I mean, I can't believe Havertz has run away. I mean, what's he think?
Well, the rules are you can't score off your hand.
Exactly, and it's hit his arm, it's gone in. I think the keeper either saves it or it's going wide, and it's hit his hand, he's run off like... I can understand if it's in the Championship, you're going to get away with it. There's no VAR.
The thing is, I mean, as a player, surely you know it's hit you. Well, we know the rules these days,
but there's 3 minutes to go. What are you going to do?
I know. I'm just saying, you're not going to celebrate, I suppose, but it's quite clear.
Maybe you've been trying to convince yourself that it hasn't hit your hand.
Yeah, maybe.
So, but if it hits your arm, it hits your arm, and you feel it.
But it's plain to see, it's not.
And he's trying to say it's hit his chest.
It's not a tight one.
Did it not hit his chest?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
All right, well, let's bring you some live reaction because it's a brilliant point this for Aston Villa. We shouldn't forget that. And Ollie Watkins has been chief nuisance maker yet again against Arsenal. I'm not sure how popular you're going to be around the Emirates, Ollie, but you're certainly going to be hugely popular amongst Aston Villa fans. Thank you for talking to us. Your verdict, first of all, on the handball before we move on.
Seeing it back there, I'm not sure. I think it's gone in favour for us, to be honest. If I was a if that was against me, I think I would be a little bit disappointed.
Why?
I don't know. From the angle, I'm not sure, but that's what VAR is there for.
Yeah, pass it on to somebody
You just
else.
watched that angle, didn't you?
It was handball, Ollie, trust me.
Ollie, congratulations, though. It looked and it felt like it was a long way back for your team at 2-0 down. So what changed for you?
I think obviously we got the goal. Luka put in an unbelievable ball and Youri scored, and then I think we went up the pitch 2 minutes later and Youri nearly scored again. So I think we got a lot of momentum from that, and had a bit of faith that whenever we went forward, especially on transition, that they were quite open and there was chances to be had.
Well, that's interesting. Was that sort of part of the game plan that you spoke about beforehand? If you can get it, if you can transition the ball quite quickly, if you can get it forward, there might be some vulnerability there?
Yeah, we knew they went man for man. Obviously, Gabriel was coming onto me. Partey was pushing up onto Jacob. We were man for man at the back, and there was a few times in the first half I could have done a little bit better. I was 1v1 with their centre back Gabriel a couple of times, and obviously he got the better of me. But there was chances there to be taken, and they were always a little bit open.
Ollie, Lee Hendry, good performance, mate, today, and good goal. I know that you love scoring against Arsenal, but we sort of highlighted that in the first half. I mean, I don't think it was predominantly down to you. I think more so that you could have had better balls to run onto that probably would have caused problems for Arsenal, because, as you said, it was touch tight. Gabriel I thought that was a massive outlet for Villa today. But, I mean, just touching on the performance and the belief and the turnaround, I mean, you go 2-0 down at the Emirates. Was it like that momentum that you felt that was going to come? Did you feel like you could maybe go and win the game in the end?
Yeah, so when I got my goal, I then felt like we had enough time to push on and get a goal. But I think it was about being brave and making more passes. You know, in the first half we went quite direct. Gabriel's a strong guy, so it's hard to hold the ball up against him. But you know, once we got it down and made a few passes, that's when you can catch them, and that's where I think we got the first goal from.
Well, Ollie, have a look at the monitor because we can play your goal. It looked a really high quality finish, but give us your perspective on it.
To be fair, I wasn't sure whether to take a touch there, and then I've just made contact. I think maybe I'm probably at my best when I don't have too much time to think. I don't know what you would think, Lee, after watching quite a few games for Villa, but I think I'm better when I'm finishing like out of instinct rather than a lot of time to think in them scenarios. So made contact, hit the target, and nice to see it hit the back of the net.
Yeah, look, I mean, it looked like there was a slight little touch. Did you think that at the time? I mean, listen, at the time, I think it was a brilliant finish, Ollie. I think you made the right choice in doing so. But as you said, a striker's instinct, you've just got to go with that. You probably could have had a touch and just slotted it home, but I think striker's instinct, you have to go with it, and that's why you scored so many goals. I mean, I thought it was a great finish. Did you feel there was a slight touch as it was coming across, or was you sort of ready for it, or ready for the ball to actually come to your feet?
I think I was caught in two minds, and then I kind of obviously just went with one decision, hit it, and and nice to see it trickle in there. But Merce, anything to say? You're a bit quiet there.
I have got something to say, Ollie. It's a great finish. It is a good finish. I think you've done the right thing. But when it hit your foot, when you side-footed it, did you think you'd missed it or not?
Yeah, because to be honest, I hit it quite high, so I didn't think it had gone in at first.
I've got to say outstanding because, as I say, that's what good centre forwards do. They get one chance or two chances and they score. So phenomenal finish. I thought your movement was very good as usual again. And just being patient and getting in the box. So fair play to you, and great to see you back. And hopefully you'll get in the England team.
Ollie, how are you finding it with obviously John's back in the fold now?
Well, he don't like him, does he?
How you find? I mean, listen, it's great to have two good strikers in the squad and the team. I mean, is that giving you that extra push at the moment? Obviously, it seemed like fighting for that shirt, and I watched your face as you came off towards the end. I mean, I thought you were excellent. That Merce touched on your hold-up play was good. Your runs in behind were good. Do you feel a bit disappointed at times when you're coming off sort of late on in games?
Yeah, especially because I feel like I get a lot of my goals quite late on in games, maybe in the second half. Obviously, last year I scored here, and I think that was 89th minute. So if you're coming off the pitch, it's never nice to be substituted. I feel like me and John could maybe play up top together. We've not had many opportunities to do that. I don't think we've started a game together this season. So I think it's a work in progress. But obviously it's never nice to be substituted, but you've got to respect the manager's decision.
Well, you said you could play together. Mercy's now shaking his head, Ollie.
It's 2025, Ollie. It's not 1990 anymore. Two up front.
You got a good point.
I know what you mean, though, because you'll move when you're a centre forward. I played up there many times early in my career. That's when you get your goals. You know that Arsenal have got to chase the game. You know there's going to be gaps at the back. You do all the running, you close them down, you tire the defenders. And then John Duran comes on and he's getting a lot of credit for his goals as a substitution. When I look at what you do before he comes on the pitch, do you know what I mean? I think it must be disheartening. But fair play to you. You don't throw your toys out the pram, which is good.
No, and look, it is hard to come off the pitch and score at the end of the day. You've got to be in the right place to score and then finish your dinner. But hopefully we can play up front together, despite what you say.
I'm not even a manager, Ollie. It ain't happening.
Ollie, can I talk to you about targets? I mean, this is twofold, really, because there's the personal targets, and the guys have said they want to see you in the England team. There's obviously been a change of head coach, and everyone's kind of fighting for inclusion and selection. So it's your personal targets. What are you thinking there? And what are you thinking about what the team can actually do this season? Because it feels a little bit like Villa are going under the radar.
Yeah, I think they are. I think we are. Obviously, we had a bit of a bad run before. I think we didn't win in 8 games. Everyone said we're having a bit of a dodgy season, but then we win a couple and we're back in it. So you can see how close the league is. Obviously, Bournemouth went away to Newcastle today and won 4-1, which you would never have thought. So it just shows the level. And you've got to be on your toes. But for me personally, it's probably the best I've felt these last couple of weeks. Obviously, coming back from the Euros, not having a pre-season, it does take a toll on your body. So, I'm feeling good. I want to get to that 20 goals. I'm on penalties now as well. So, that's the target. And break Gabby's record, I think.
Well done, well done. You've been incredibly generous with your time. Yeah. Thank you, Ollie, and thank you for putting up with our questions as well.
Cheers, well done. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well done. Keep doing it. That's Ollie Watkins, who scored such a crucial goal for Aston Villa tonight, and is holding off John Duran in what is a really interesting battle, isn't it, at the top of the pitch for Aston Villa right now?
Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, obviously, John being back available, that's why I asked the question. I mean, it's great to have two strikers, and how long that's going to last for, I'm not too sure, because it's hard to keep hold of players that are scoring goals, and you can chop and change like he has done.
And now you've got Marlon you can throw into the mix as well.
Well, he's versatile where he can play along that three, can't he? So, I mean, it's a great option to have. I do feel that they've really suffered since the Arby's left the football club, because he was another outlet for them, and I don't think that Bailey's performed as what he did last season. So I think having another attacking threat up there, it gives Villa another option.
Let's have a look at the goal which really changed the course of this football match tonight, and that was the first goal for Aston Villa. Remember, they're 2-0 down at this point in the game, and then they managed to get a foothold. How did they do it?
Do you know what? I look at this and I think Trossard is brilliant. Merce made a really good point about movement and running behind.
Well, you're showing this 1-0.
Yeah, and this is it, where he just runs in behind. It was Matty Cash and Kamara that literally get confused, and that's where the space occurs in behind. I think you'll see it here. If you just watch Trossard, he comes in off, and this is good wide play for me, because he makes that run directly in behind there. But if you just watch Matty Cash and Kamara, they get confused, and that's where the space comes, and then the ball in behind, and then it's game over, because we'll stop it there. Let me just go back to that, where Maatsen literally he hasn't got the awareness. I said about having your head on a swivel where you can see what's good fullbacks do that, and he just gets his pocket picked, and Martinelli gets that first goal, and particularly at that time in the game, you felt that Villa were probably on top at that stage.
Yeah, that came 10 minutes before half-time, and there was a real sense of a mood change in the stadium at 1-0. And then we may as well run through these chronographical order now. So the second goal, which it felt like was the decisive one.
Yeah, I thought so. You know, here, fullbacks are so used to wingers coming inside now. So used to. Every winger comes inside onto the stronger foot, goes down the line. It's a great ball. Good finish. I mean, I think the goalkeeper, probably would think 9 times out of 10 he will save that with his feet, but it seemed like his feet he was up in the air, so he didn't get down and plant. But fullbacks, they struggle when it's like that. You know, they always people want to come inside, so they show them on the outside. But if you're showing something down the outside and they can cross it like that, you want to be showing them inside.
I'd be disappointed from a Villa perspective there in particular, because I feel that Matty Cash could have probably got a little bit tighter, but the ball that comes in, if you can see Havertz is there, 2 defenders got in between. There isn't a lot to really defend, and credit to Havertz, you know, we talked about the confidence. I mean, that was, I think, is a really good finish, because he just gets that connection from the pace of the crossing from that wide area with Trossard.
I made up a word, by the way. I'm surprised you didn't pick me up on that. It's chronographical, I think I said.
I don't even know what that means.
I usually use it.
I thought it's somewhere he lived.
This is Villa's first goal. Merce was actually touching on this, and I think if you look, we'll highlight Moreno and Tielemans. As that ball goes out wide, there's only one place that Luca is directly in behind, but you touched on it, Merce, didn't you? I mean,
he's got to get his body in front. I mean, this wins your league titles. You know, week in, week out, you have to get in front of that forward, that midfield player runner. He can't run off you. You know, he's in front of him there. He's too free.
Poor there, isn't it?
He's got a start on him. He's got a yard too. Again, not awareness. It's lazy. It's lazy football for me. It's like, I'll just get back and. You know, it's really poor, and you've got to do this week in, week out if you want to win league titles. It's not turn up every now and then for like 20, 30 games. It's 38 games. He has to get his body in the way, and that is too simple for me. That is poor. Great ball. We said about Lucas Deans, he gives you that in the second half. He can play a brilliant crosser of a ball.
And I think Tielemans playing in that so-called 10 that he did today, that's what 10 should be doing. They're going and making that second striker. Ollie Watkins making that run to the near post that creates a space for the attacking midfielders.
And we haven't got time to do that because we've done it loads already.
All right, let's dive into this Arsenal-Aston Villa match from January 18th, 2025.
2-2 draw.
Yeah, 2-2. You know, on paper, it looked like an Arsenal win.
Should have been,
right?
You would think so.
But as always, the Premier League keeps us on our toes.
Never straightforward, is it?
No, not at all. So Arsenal started strong.
Yeah.
65% possession, first half.
Controlled it.
Trossard just kind of running the show on that left wing, creating chance after chance.
It felt like Villa's defense was just constantly scrambling.
Yeah, they were on the back foot for sure.
They did well to kind of keep their structure, though.
Yeah.
Especially centrally, I thought.
Yeah.
They were pretty disciplined in those areas.
Yeah, and they were.
Limiting the real clear-cut chances for Arsenal.
Yeah, and they were making those tackles, you know?
Yeah.
They were getting bodies in the way. They were doing those little things that matter. But then comes that moment that kind of changes everything. That goal. Yeah, and it's Martinelli in the 34th minute.
Beautiful goal.
Oh, it was fantastic, Dave. Trossard cuts inside, finds him with just this perfectly weighted ball.
Yeah.
Villa's defense just caught completely off guard.
Just a little bit too far forward, and they couldn't get back in time.
Yeah, and then that volley from Martinelli.
Clinical.
Oh,
cool.
It just hits the back of the net, 1-0 Arsenal.
And you could just feel the energy in the Emirates just erupt.
Oh, the place was rocking.
It was a goal that really kind of showed how well Trossard and Martinelli are starting to click.
Yeah.
That understanding between those two is really blossoming.
Yeah, the way that Trossard can draw defenders in, and then Martinelli just knows exactly where to be.
Exploiting that space.
It's just becoming so dangerous for opposing teams.
It is, yeah.
And then early in the second half, they double the lead.
They do.
Trossard, again, provider this time, finds Havertz with a cross.
Lovely weighted ball again.
And he heads it past Martinez, 2-0.
At that point, I think everyone thought game over.
Yeah.
Arsenal cruising.
3 points in the bag.
Yeah.
But that's when things get really interesting.
This is where the momentum shifts.
Yeah, just 5 minutes later.
Yep.
Villa pulls one back. Tielemans.
Header.
Oh, a powerful header.
From a great cross by Digne.
Yeah, right past Raya.
And you could just sense the whole atmosphere change.
Oh, yeah.
Villa suddenly had this belief that they could get back into the match.
Yeah, it was like they were given a lifeline and they were not going to let go.
Exactly.
Suddenly their passes were crisper, they were moving with more purpose.
Pressing higher up the pitch.
Yeah, they were all over Arsenal.
And I think it's interesting how they really targeted Arsenal's right side.
Yeah.
They realized that Tomiyasu was being drawn out of position by Watkins' runs.
Watkins was just causing all sorts of problems with those runs in behind.
Yeah.
And Villa just exploited that space time and time again.
And it paid off.
Oh, it did in the 70th minute.
Yep.
Cash, overlapping on that right side, delivers this inch-perfect cross to Watkins.
And Watkins does what Watkins does.
Volley, past Raya 2-2.
The Emirates stunned into silence.
I mean, you could hear a pin drop.
Textbook example of how to punish a high line.
Arsenal just completely caught out.
Villa, so ruthless on that counterattack.
And from there, you know, Arsenal did try to find that winner.
Yeah, they pushed hard.
They had a goal disallowed. They hit the post late on.
Unlucky.
But in the end, they had to settle for the draw.
Yeah.
It was a match that really showed just how quickly things can change in the Premier League.
It did.
Both sides had their moments of brilliance. Both sides showed some weaknesses.
And for me, it highlighted the tactical battle between the managers as well.
Oh, for sure.
Arteta's attacking approach worked really well initially.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed Villa.
Yeah.
But then Emery made those adjustments in the second half.
Yeah.
Particularly the way they targeted that right side of Arsenal's defense.
Yeah, and it made all the difference.
It did.
So let's talk about some of the standout players, shall we?
Let's do it.
Well, for Arsenal, you got to start with Trossard.
He was the standout.
Oh, absolutely. He was involved in both goals.
Yeah, 2 assists.
Showcased his vision, his passing.
It wasn't just the assist, though.
No.
I mean, his movement, his positioning.
He was causing Villa problems all game long.
That ability to drift inside from that left wing position.
Yeah.
It was key.
Oh.
He was constantly overloading that Villa midfield.
Creating those passing lanes for Martinelli and Havertz,
Yeah.
just forcing Villa to adjust their shape.
Which then opened up space for others.
Yeah, exactly. It was like he was the spark for everything positive Arsenal did going forward.
A catalyst.
The catalyst, there you go. Now, Havertz, on the other hand, he scored, but...
Yeah, he got his goal.
Yeah, he did, but just didn't quite seem...
Didn't quite click for him.
Yeah, out of sync, maybe.
He's an interesting one. Havertz, obviously a talented player.
Oh, yeah.
But his role in Arteta's system...
I don't know if we quite know what it is yet.
It's still evolving.
Yeah.
Is he a traditional number 9?
No.
Is he a pure attacking midfielder?
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, he's being asked to do a lot.
Yeah.
Link up play, make runs into the box, contribute defensively.
Yeah, it's a big ask.
It is.
Especially in a team like Arsenal that plays such a high-tempo pressing style.
Yeah. And I think it's clear he's still adjusting.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Arteta continues to utilize him.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving over to Aston Villa now.
Yeah.
Youri Tielemans really came alive in that second half.
Oh, he did.
Obviously, his goal was crucial.
Massive moment in the match.
But it was his overall influence, I think, that really stood out.
It was his influence on the game that shifted the momentum.
Yeah.
First half, Villa sat deep.
Absorbing the pressure.
Second half,
They came out with a different energy.
they started to push higher.
Yeah, they were on the front foot.
And Tielemans was at the heart of that.
Yeah, dictating the tempo.
Finding those pockets of space between Arsenal's midfield and defense.
Just causing all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
And then you have Ollie Watkins. Just a constant thorn in Arsenal's side.
All game.
All game.
Yeah.
Testing that back line with his runs, his movement.
And that volley for the equalizer.
Oh, my goodness.
World class.
Absolute world class.
The technique, the composure.
I mean, he made it look so easy.
He did.
And that's what makes him such a dangerous striker.
Watkins is the kind of player that just thrives in this system.
Yeah.
He's quick. He's strong.
Clinical in front of goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's his work rate as well.
That willingness to run those channels.
Such as defensive.
Create space for others.
Always a threat on the counterattack.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's touch on the goalkeepers quickly.
Okay.
David Raya for Arsenal.
Yep.
Emi Martinez for Villa.
Yeah.
Both had their moments.
They did.
But I don't think either of them will be walking away thinking, that was my best performance.
No, it didn't.
Raya maybe could have done better with Tielemans' header.
Possibly, yeah.
Martinez a bit slow to react to Havertz's goal.
Yeah, you could argue that.
But both made some important saves as well.
They did.
I mean, it's a tough job being a goalkeeper.
Oh, it is.
Especially in a game like this where the momentum is constantly shifting.
They're under pressure for the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, they both played their part.
They did.
So big implications for both sides in this match, right?
Absolutely. This draw for Arsenal,
Yeah.
it raises questions about their consistency.
Yeah, and particularly defensively, I think.
Yeah, their attack is obviously potent,
Oh, yeah.
but that back line can be vulnerable.
Especially against teams that are quick on the counter.
Yeah, we saw it here against Villa.
And other top teams are going to be looking at that.
Absolutely. They're going to be studying that game tape.
They're going to try to exploit those weaknesses.
If Arsenal have serious title aspirations,
Which they do.
they do, they got to address those defensive frailties. They've got to tighten up at the back.
For Villa, though, this draw.
Massive.
Huge confidence boost. Shows they can compete.
With the best.
With the best, even on the road.
At the Emirates.
The Emirates against a team like Arsenal, who are
High of the league contender.
expected to win these kinds of matches.
Yeah.
So
it's a statement performance from Villa.
it is a statement performance.
And it's a testament to their resilience.
Yeah.
Their tactical flexibility.
Emery's got them playing.
Organized.
They're organized. They're disciplined.
They're not intimidated by the big names anymore.
No, they're not.
And this performance?
Could be a springboard for them.
Absolutely.
To push even higher up the table.
You know, they could really challenge for those European spots.
They could, for sure. So, for everyone watching,
Yeah.
what stood out to you in this match?
What caught your eye?
Was it Trossard's brilliance?
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Was it Villa's tactical masterclass in that second half?
Emery's got him playing well.
Or was it something else entirely?
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. This match really does leave us with some interesting questions about both these teams, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Can Arsenal tighten things up at the back? Enough to mount a serious title challenge?
I think it's like we're seeing two different Arsenals at times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Brilliant going forward, but then at the back, a little shaky.
A little suspect at times, yeah?
Yeah. They have the firepower, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
To outscore pretty much anyone.
I mean, when they're clicking, they're just a joy to watch.
But against those top sides, you know, those defensive weaknesses, they could be their undoing.
It's going to be interesting to see if Arteta can find that balance.
Yeah, because if they do, look out.
They'll be a real force, yeah. And for Villa, I mean, wow, a performance.
Yeah, really impressive.
You know, it shows they can hang with the best.
It's all about consistency for them now.
Yeah, build on this.
We saw glimpses last season of what they could do under Emery.
Yeah, they're organized.
Yeah, they're well drilled.
And they've got players that can hurt you.
Oh, yeah, especially on the break.
Watkins, Bailey, Buendia.
Yeah, that front three is dangerous.
They can cause problems for anyone.
And what's really impressive about Villa is that tactical flexibility.
Yeah, they can adapt.
Yeah, depending on the opponent.
Yeah, like you said, first half against Arsenal, they sat back.
Absorbed the pressure.
Second half, different team.
Yeah. Took the game to it.
And that adaptability.
It's crucial.
In this league, especially.
They got to be able to mix it up.
Yeah, if you want to compete with the best.
Yeah, for sure.
And Emery's instilled that belief in this squad.
They're not just happy to avoid relegation anymore.
No, they're not.
They're going for it.
They're going for it.
And that makes them a dangerous opponent.
For anyone.
Yeah.
This match is just another reminder that in the Premier League,
there are no easy games.
No easy games whatsoever.
Anyone can beat anyone on their day.
And Villa proved that.
Yeah, for sure.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into this thrilling 2-2 draw.
Yeah, what a game.
Arsenal, Aston Villa.
It had a bit of everything.
I mean, we saw attacking brilliance.
Defensive frailties.
Tactical adjustments.
Individual moments of magic.
And drama. Lots of drama.
Yeah, edge of your seat stuff.
I mean, this match was a microcosm of everything we love about the Premier League.
Absolutely. And it leaves us wanting more.
It does. It really does. And as the season unfolds, we'll be keeping a close eye on both of these teams.
Yeah, for sure.
To see if they can fulfill their potential.
Can Arsenal challenge for the title?
Can Villa push for Europe?
Lots of questions still to be answered.
Only time will tell.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
They've given us plenty to think about.
They have, and that's what makes these deep dives so rewarding.
Until next time.
See ya!